I'm sorry about that, you guys. It says, but I just lost my page. But the Fever star is continuing to take steps toward full strength. Fever coach Stephanie White told Indy Star on a Fever Insider podcast episode launching Wednesday this week. Clark isn't yet back playing 5-on-5, but she has been playing 2-on-2 and 3-on-3.
What he just dropped? Caitlin Clark isn't nursing one setback. She's battling 3 different injuries at once. Right groin, left ankle, and yes, another brutal groin tear that completely wrecked her season. The Indiana Fever tried to soften the blow, calling it a week-by-week update. But let's be honest, when a franchise throws out that phrase, it's code for we're stalling and hoping you stop asking. It's not about healing. It's about buying time, managing outrage, and dodging accountability. And here's the part no one seems brave enough to discuss. How does the league's biggest attraction collect 3 serious injuries in one single season? That's not bad luck. That's mismanagement with a pattern. And before you think this ends with some optimistic rehab update, hold on. The real chaos is happening away from cameras, inside those training rooms, where decisions are being made that could shape the rest of her career.
Toward 5-on-5, Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever. I'm going to be real. I really wanted Caitlin Clark to train elsewhere with somebody else. I just don't trust the training with the Indiana Fever. I don't trust Stephanie White has the best interest of Caitlin Clark. I really don't. I don't think she knows how to utilize Caitlin Clark. I think she likes the idea of Caitlin Clark, but she's not comfortable with how she plays. Stephanie White likes a slow, methodical.
The moment everyone missed. I don't buy the Indiana Fever's training methods for a second. This isn't some wild internet rant. It's a real concern built on hard evidence. Look at the timeline. Caitlin Clark played only 13 games, 13, out of an entire season. And now she's stuck running 2-on-2 and 3-on-3 drills while the offseason slips away. Every single day, she's not running full court 5-on-5. Her edge dulls against actual competition. But here's where it gets messy. No one's connecting the dots. Stephanie White's coaching style directly clashes with how Caitlin Clark naturally plays. White wants slow, controlled structure. Clark thrives in speed, chaos, and creativity. And that's the spark that explains it all. Why her 3rd season could either ignite into an MVP-level breakout or collapse into another injury-riddled disaster. One depends on freedom, the other on a system that's slowly breaking the league's brightest star.
A college coach that likes to control the game from the sideline. And Caitlin Clark likes to get up and down, have that freedom, play that read and react system that we all have grown to love to watch her play. And Stephanie White is just not. She's just not super fond of it. She's just not super fond of it. It's not her thing. So I am concerned with Stephanie White being Caitlin Clark's coach going forward, to be honest. But
he loves the idea of Caitlin Clark, but can't handle the reality of her game. Let that sink in. The face of the entire WNBA is being coached by someone who doesn't actually believe in her natural style. Stephanie White craves a slow, structured textbook offense. Caitlin Clark? She's pure chaos, thrives in transition, lives in motion, built for that instinctive read and react magic that made her a legend at Iowa. This isn't a minor coaching disagreement. It's a total mismatch that could wreck her physically. When athletes are boxed into systems that fight their instincts, their bodies twist and strain to compensate. And that's where injuries breed. Those groin tears, that ankle sprain, they're not accidents. They're biomechanical warning signs of a player forced to move unnaturally. And here's the real kicker, the Indiana Fevers. Front office still doesn't seem to grasp what kind of once-in-a-generation superstar they actually have in Caitlin Clark, and time's running out to fix it.
The title, because I don't trust Amber Cox and Kelly Crosskopf and Stephanie White to pick the right pieces. We saw all the mistakes they made last season, going and giving DeWanna Bonner a max contract, who was terrible for majority of the year, not just with Indiana, but with Phoenix too. She was terrible a lot of the time. Giving Natasha Howard a max contract, promising her things. You got her coming over here thinking she gonna win MVP and all types of nonsense. So although I do not trust them,
you catch that lineup disaster? DeWanna Bonner snagged a max deal and spent most of the year looking lost, while Natasha Howard got her own massive contract with MVP talk that never came close to reality. That's not strategy. That's dysfunction in a shiny disguise. When you've got a generational force like Caitlin Clark, every move should be designed to magnify her brilliance. Instead, the Indiana Fever doubled down on aging veterans with expensive deals, while their 22-year-old phenom battled injury after injury. That's not poor luck, it's poor management. And worse, it shows a complete misunderstanding of how modern championship teams are built. But don't blink, because the injury timeline exposes something even uglier. Proof that the league hasn't just mishandled their brightest star. They've practically risked her future to cover their own.
Conclusion of Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark, second season, while she remains the franchise centerpiece for the Indiana Fever, one of the faces of the league, not one of the faces, the face. It was a year Clark will likely want to put behind her, as it was plagued by injuries. Clark appeared in just 13 games. While she was productive during that stretch, she never fully gained her health. She dealt with an injury during the preseason, suffered a groin injury early that year that caused her to miss time, then suffered another groin injury prior to All-Star break that ultimately ended her season, on top of the ankle injury. Now with 5-on-5 activities set to begin this month, Clark can use the offseason to return to full form. She already has several exciting developments planned.
To this timeline and tell me it doesn't sound alarming. Injured in preseason, then a groin issue early in the year that sidelined her, another groin tear just before the All-Star break that officially ended her season. Add the ankle problem on top of it. That's 4 separate injuries in one campaign. 4. This isn't about Caitlin Clark being fragile. It's about her being flat-out mismanaged. And here's the part that should keep every Indiana Fever fan up at night. The warning signs were flashing before the season even tipped off. The medical team knew. The coaching staff knew. Yet they still pushed her into a system that was breaking her body piece by piece. And when you link that to what was said earlier about not trusting Stephanie White's training philosophy, the picture becomes crystal clear. This isn't coincidence. It's negligence dressed up as player development. And it's getting impossible to ignore.
He's about to be doing some 5-on-5. I think it's very much needed. Like I said, I think that this year Caitlin Clark needed to off season. She needs to be playing 5-on-5 somewhere and not just doing that one-on-one individual stuff. You know what I mean? So this is a big deal. It's a big deal, man. And I can't wait. I can't wait for her to be.
I want Caitlin Clark to train somewhere else, under someone new. That's the sentence that everyone quietly ignored, but it's the most revealing of all. When fans start openly wondering if their franchise cornerstone should separate from the team's own trainers, that's not a casual critique. It's a full-blown crisis of confidence. And honestly, they're not wrong to feel that way. Just compare her situation to other generational stars. Those players spend the offseason in Pro-Am leagues, running 5-on-5 scrimmages, keeping their rhythm sharp against top-tier talent. Meanwhile, Clark is stuck in limited 2-on-2 sets deep into October. The difference between what she needs and what she's getting isn't small. It's massive and growing by the day. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The new officiating rules coming in her 3rd season might actually protect her body, level the playing field, and, ironically, be what keeps her career from collapsing altogether.
It was officiated differently. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. The finals definitely was officiated differently. They was calling a lot of fouls. You saw now A'ja Wilson. She has a different type of whistle. 19 free throws. She shot more free throws than the Phoenix Mercury entire team. But they definitely started to call more fouls in the finals for sure. And I think going forward, that's going to be a point of emphasis for the refs to eliminate a lot of the physicality and to call the game tighter. And I think that benefits Caitlin Clark because, just as a viewer, nobody wants to watch these girls run around roughhouse.
They absolutely tightened the whistle during the finals. And that wasn't random. It was deliberate. The refs clearly made a choice to tone down the chaos and start punishing unnecessary contact. And that, right there, is the secret factor everyone's missing. Caitlin Clark's injury saga isn't just about poor training routines or mismatched coaching. It's about the relentless physical pounding she took all year long. When the league lets defenders mug star players, bodies break down. It's that simple. Aja Wilson shot 19 free throws in one finals game, more than some entire rosters combined. That didn't happen because she magically attacked more. It happened because the league finally decided to protect scorers. If that same officiating tone carries into next season, Clark's entire game flips. No more getting clobbered on drives, no more ignored contact on jumpers. Her shooting percentages soar, her injury chances drop, and suddenly, that long-promised MVP season feels...
Adam Silver will see to it. I don't believe in Kathy Engelbert. I don't trust her, but I believe that Adam Silver will step in and get this deal done, and we will have a 2026 season. I also believe that
convinced Adam Silver will swoop in and make this deal happen so we actually get a 2026 season. But hold up. This isn't just about 2026. The real battle is happening right now, inside those CBA negotiations that could decide whether there's even a 2025 season at all. The players are demanding guaranteed contracts, bigger paychecks, and travel that doesn't feel like economy class punishment. And if this whole thing blows up, Caitlin Clark's third year disappears before it even begins. Suddenly, all that talk about her 5-on-5 return means absolutely nothing. The weight on Silver's shoulders is massive because everyone quietly admits what he already knows. The WNBA's meteoric rise is powered by one superstar. No Clark, no buzz. The fans drift. The sponsors vanish. The hype collapses. Silver must close this deal. But here's the twist the league office refuses to acknowledge, and it could change everything.
Clark obviously only played in 13 games last year, basically missed a full season. A full season of play. We had to watch everybody else try to do their thing, and we saw some good players, but nothing is as spectacular as seeing CeCe on the court, doing her thing, loading up logo bombs, throwing those wild assists, getting those triple doubles, putting on a show for the people. We missed that. She's one step closer to making her big return.
Only suited up for 13 games last year, basically vanished for an entire season. Fans were forced to sit through everyone else trying to fill the void, and sure, some players looked decent, but nothing close to spectacular. And that's the brutal truth exposing everything wrong with this league. For decades, the WNBA tried crafting stars, nurturing talent, and spinning storylines. Then Caitlin Clark showed up and instantly proved none of it truly mattered to the culture. The second she went down injured, ratings crashed, arenas emptied, and the internet forgot the league existed. It's not about talent, it's about impact. And that's the nightmare nobody wants to admit. The entire league's future, its money, its momentum, its very identity, now rests on one 22-year-old's shoulders. Keep her healthy, or watch the empire crumble overnight.
See on the court, doing her thing, loading up logo bombs, throwing those wild assists, getting those triple doubles, putting on a show for the people. We missed that. She's one step closer to making her big.
Logo bombs. No-look dimes, triple doubles on command. Caitlin Clark didn't just play basketball. She turned it into a spectacle. We miss that electric chaos. What separates her isn't just numbers, it's the showmanship. She treats the court like a stage and every game like a headline act. Every possession feels like a chance to witness something absurdly new, something nobody else would even try. You can't coach that. You can't clone that. That's what generational brilliance fused with pure audacity looks like. But when that magic gets smothered by rigid coaching or derailed by injuries, the entire ecosystem suffers. Fans lose excitement. The league loses momentum. And Clark? She loses the golden stretch of her prime. So here's the real question. Will the Indiana Fever finally build around her, or just waste one of the greatest talents women's basketball has ever seen?